What is going on, everyone? Give a thought back here today for another No Man's Sky discussion video. Well, kind of. Today I wanted to focus on the man behind No Man's Sky, and that is Sean Murray. And the reason is because I don't think game developers get as much attention as they deserve, and when they do get attention, it seems to primarily be negative. So in today's video, I just wanted to examine his life and what brought him to No Man's Sky. So without further ado, let's get into this. Mr. Murray was born in Ireland, but during his childhood he bounced around a lot and primarily stayed in Australia, which he claims gave him his weird accent. Look at me talking about accents. But he also said that he wrote his first game at the age of 6, which is extremely young. According to him, it was a text adventure game and wasn't all that complicated, but it's still a game at 6 years old. That's nuts. Eventually, Murray obtained a degree from university in computer science, and it was always his dream to be a game developer. He went on to get a job at Criterion, and famously worked on the Burnout series, as well as the game Black. He also contributed to a game that I had no idea he had anything to do with called Burn Zombie Burn. It's an arcadey type zombie game for the PSN, and I really enjoyed it back in the day. In fact, I wore out a PS3 controller on this game. But the real magic happened for Murray in 2008. When he quit his job at EA and opened his own game studio with 2 friends called Hello Games. Murray, along with his newly formed studio, began work on their freshman project, Joe Danger. All wasn't well for them in the beginning, however, as the studio soon went broke. And without any money to rely on, Murray sold his own house to pay for the rest of the game and to keep the studio afloat. He claimed that since EA was the company that gave him the money to buy the house, he didn't want the house anyway, and he famously referred to the money he earned during his time at EA as blood money. But thanks to their newly obtained capital, Joe Danger released 2 years later in 2010 and became a massive hit for the small studio. The studio even announced at the Develop Conference of 2010 that they made every penny back for Joe Danger on the day of release. Despite their success, all wasn't completely well for Murray and Hello Games, however. Soon after they announced their upcoming project, initially titled Project Skyscraper, which would go on to be No Man's Sky, on Christmas Eve of 2013, a massive flood destroyed their studio. According to Murray, the studio even thought about canceling No Man's Sky at that time. But as they faced that potential cancellation, the studio pulled their resources and got back on track with development for No Man's Sky. And 3 years later, after one of the rockiest marketing loops I've ever seen, came one of the most opinion-splitting games of all time, No Man's Sky. So what's Murray doing these days after the release of No Man's Sky? Well, according to his Ask Me Anything thread on Reddit that he did the day before No Man's Sky's release, the team at Hello Games is already working on a new project while simultaneously supporting No Man's Sky. And according to him, the new game will be somewhat smaller than No Man's Sky, and I assume it will be on the scale of something like Joe Danger. So there's a quick bio on the man behind No Man's Sky. I just wanted to do this video because I see Sean Murray getting so much bad press that I wanted to remind people that he is still human. And I know he's been caught in a few lies, but imagine being in his shoes with all the hype around this game and zero training in how to speak publicly. The guy is set up for failure in that arena. But we have to remember he is a skilled programmer, which is obvious when playing No Man's Sky. I don't know exactly how many programmers are in the studio at Hello Games, but the entire studio is only made up of 15 people, and the fact that they could pull off something like No Man's Sky is nothing short of a miracle. But I think that's where I'm going to wrap things up today. Just so you guys know, I'm actively working on that review and I hope to have it up on Sunday. I want to get a few more days of experience in with the game before I put any finality into my opinions. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Just click the annotation to the left up there and you'll be taken right to my channel where you can click that subscribe button. It's been great seeing all the new subscribers lately, so thank you guys for joining me. Also check out yesterday's video, where I go over how to make the best out of your experience in No Man's Sky, and why I think some people aren't enjoying the game to its fullest. And as always, if you're on mobile, links are in the description for everything I've mentioned. And that's it for me today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, give thought to everything.